of whom is undefeated and a very talented fighter. His name, Julio Gonzalez. They're scheduled to go 8 rounds here at the Pond, and Jimmy Lennon Jr. standing by to introduce them. James, if you will.
Well, fans, here we go. This bout coming away is now scheduled 8 rounds of boxing featuring light heavyweights in the ring. Introducing our referee in charge of this bout, we have Vince Delgado. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks, joining us from Cleveland, Ohio. He weighed in at 171 pounds. His record stands at 14 wins with 9 losses, and 7 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing Wilson Honey Boy Smith. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, this 8-round attraction. He is wearing black trunks with white trim, fighting out of Huntington Beach, California, by way of Guerrero Negro, Baja California Sur, Mexico. His weight, 174 pounds. His record is undefeated at 18 wins, no losses, and 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the undefeated Julio Gonzalez. Once again, Vince Delgado is our referee in charge, 8 rounds.
All right, you had your instructions on dressing room. Give me a nice clean fight. Shake hands and good luck.
Tail of the tape for these light heavyweights. Gonzalez is 6'2", Smith an inch shorter. Smith is 3 pounds lighter. I can't believe Smith is 41, but that's what they say. At any rate, the reach department, why an inch of that goes to Gonzalez. His record of perfect, unblemished, 18-0, and he has 9 knockouts. He's 22 years of age. Wilson Smith, 41. Kind of a late age to be getting involved in a sport this difficult, Rich Morano.
Yeah, well, he's been a professional actually since '92, and he, you know, at one point in his career, he was really doing well in his career, but in the last 3 years, he's been unable to win fights, and he's become more a journeyman opponent type.
Well, he's in against a young man who has a lot of promise and a lot of talent. Norm Kaplan is the man who runs his career, and he's very high on this young fighter. They've had him all over the world fighting. He was just over in Japan, and he picked up a very impressive knockout win over a highly regarded Japanese fighter, Yamamura, in the light heavyweight division.
Yeah, and it took only 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And prior to that, Tom, he was in just a sensational fight that we were privileged to broadcast. His bout with Reggie Roberts over at the Forum. It was just a spectacular bout between 2 undefeated fighters. Nothing but action all the way. They both acquitted themselves well, and it was Julio Gonzalez who won an 8-round decision that night.
Yeah, in fact, I think the fight was so good, it truly was, that we said to one another on the air and to the folks listening, why would 2 guys this good, this young, get in against each other? And the answer came back, well, you got to find out where you are. And I tell you, both men were magnificent. The win going to the young man you see in the ring now in the black trunks trimmed in white, Julio Gonzalez.
Julio was so impressive in that fight that he quite obviously had come a long way from what we had seen from him at the beginning of his career a couple of years ago. We really didn't give him much chance to develop into a highly ranked fighter at that time. Tommy didn't look like he had much, but he has gotten so much better. He has really attended to his gym duties and really took a stab at learning the art of self-defense, and is fighting much better now.
Went to Edison High School down in Huntington Beach, and attended Orange Coast College for a year. Native of Mexico.
Matt Kurihara is his trainer.
.62. I'm intrigued by Wilson Smith, 14-9, 7 knockouts, and 41 years of age.
Once was trained by Eddie Mustafa Muhammad. We see Cassius Green over in his corner tonight.
Yeah.
Cassius is showing up in more and more corners.
Yes, he is.
Fighters.
Yeah. He's almost as prevalent in fights as Jimmy Montoya once was. Coming to the end of round 1. Round number 2 scheduled for 8 light heavyweights. Julio Gonzalez in the black with the white stripe down the side, and his opposite number is Wilson Smith in the solid black trunks.
Wilson Smith, maybe 41, but just watch the way he moves around the ring, Tom. He does show some ability, and just even now has some athletic ability in terms of being a fluid fighter, being able to move, but he just got caught for him, though.
Well, he just about got knocked into our laps here. Got belted pretty good back up into the corner, but he dances away. Oh, yes, just the numbers are what boggles my mind a bit. He is obviously in shape. He is not overweight. He is still very quick and quick-handed. But at 41, what an age to be in a sport as debilitating as this one is, as enervating as this one is.
Yeah, he made his pro debut way back in 1992. He was considered at one time a pretty good prospect. Even in his 30s.
When he made his debut. Had a nice double up with the jab there. Good shot to the midsection. Another one to the jaw.
That right to the body really hurts.
Yes.
Hurt Smith. Julio really unloaded one.
Smith almost had his mouth wide open as if he were going to shout for help with that.
Gonzalez, I was talking to his co-manager Norman Kaplan prior to the fight. He said some people are starting to offer him shots at these minor titles now, these American or North American championships. He says we're not quite there yet as far as you're concerned. They still need they feel like they need a little more fine-tuning, which is a good idea, because this is a guy really who's still learning on the job. He had only 26 amateur fights, and even with that, just a handful of amateur fights, he was chosen to represent Mexico in the Olympic Games. Unfortunately for him, he ended up fighting Vasily Girov, who's currently the world champion, and he lost to Girov, who went on to win the gold medal and has had a great pro career so far.
But he is a talented prospect, no question about it. I think he's quite fortunate to have a man with the ethics of Norm Kaplan in his corner as well. He will take care of his career nicely, thank you. He will not shove him into a fight that he doesn't have a competitive edge or chance in. I think the young man's fortunate that Kaplan's looking after his affairs. Norm's been around boxing a long time. Smith busy trying to fend off young Gonzalez. 10 seconds remaining here in the second round. It is scheduled for 8. Smith looks to be overmatched in this one, but he is moving quite well and holding his own. I want to remind you, of course, that still to come is the NABO flyweight champion, Isidro Chino Garcia. He'll not be defending his title, but he's in against a toughie, Oscar Pajarito Andrade. And that 10-round bout is still on the menu here tonight. There is Isidro Garcia. Chino out of the Espinosa stable, and the man he's in against, Pajarito Andrade. Oscar Andrade, the little bird, the little parrot. All right, still ahead on our menu tonight. Fight night at the Pond in Anaheim. You're watching these light heavyweights. 2 rounds in the books. Wilson Smith is deceptive, isn't he, Rich?
Yeah, but his face isn't deceptive. It tells the truth. He looks his age.
Yeah, and he got nailed with the right hand and goes staggering back into the ring ropes. Solid right hands again out of the body, and Smith fighting on instinct and courage as much as anything else. Vince Delgado separates the two. Boy, Gonzalez landed a solid right hand that really drove Smith back and then hurt him with a shot to the body as well.
Yeah, he followed up with a great right hand to the body. He's bloodied his nose badly, and look at how calm and composed Julio Garcia is here. That's one thing I like about him. He gets a man hurt. It's not that he's not following up, but he's not going crazy. He's looking for the opportunity, and there it was.
Gonzalez nails Smith with a right hand. He goes against the rope, down on the deck. Vince Delgado's counting over him. Smith gets up, his nose bloody. Delgado talks to him, says, walk this way. Smith walks toward him. I don't know that they should let this continue.
Oh.
One more punch, and I think Smith is down for the count. Courageous performance by Smith, who was outgunned, outmanned here by this young, talented young light heavyweight who can sense the end is almost near. A solid right hand. Smith reeling about. Delgado says, come on.
Yeah, he had a thought about stopping it there, but then he said, carry on.
Smith is on almost rubber legs as he walks away from Gonzalez, trying to keep him off, and Gonzalez nails him with a right hand, and that's going to be the end of it. And that stoppage keeps Smith from falling down, Rich. He was really nailed with that right hand, and the doctors are quick to come over to take a look at him. So here in the third round, Gonzalez, with an impressive knockout performance, runs his record to 19-0 and 10 knockouts. And
there's going to be more knockouts. He is learning basically how to fight. He had a lot of decisions, but this is a guy who is learning how to fight, how to get power into his punches, and this is really turning into an outstanding light heavyweight, and a guy who's going to have to be not taken for granted anymore. Good job of body punching in this fight, too, by Gonzalez. You see him, that right hand, Tom, was just all night finding the target. And Vince Delgado said, quite correctly, he's had enough.
You know, if the ropes hadn't been there, why, Smith would have been in our lap with that last right hand. So a very impressive showing by Gonzalez. Jimmy Lennon Jr. has the official time on the knockout. Jimmy, if you will, please.
Well, fans, we have the time of 1 minute 59 seconds in round number 3. A referee stops the contest. The winner by way of knockout and still undefeated, Julio Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, very popular here with the crowd tonight, and very impressive. He continues to get better and better as each and every fight goes along. Good to report that Wilson Smith is all right. He took some of the toughest looking right hands to the jaw, the last one sending him into the ropes, standing there all but unable to defend himself when the referee Vince Delgado stopped the fight. So Smith leaves the ring. Rich Verrata climbs in the other side, and he's there with Julio Gonzalez. Rich, if you will, please.
Hey, Julio, you're getting pretty good.
Yeah, I'm training hard. That's what it gets me these times of fights, you know, just training and just hopefully keep winning.
Well, tonight you had too much for your opponent. Again, that right hand, though, seemed to be a real key for you this evening, both to the body and the head.
Yeah, my right hand was landing and connecting them, and that's what got him hurt.
Julio, to what do you attribute the amazing improvement? As you know, a couple of years ago, you got started and you were winning fights, but certainly not looking any type of the impressive fighter that you have become today.
Well, I train every day hard, hopefully to improve. That's why I fight, to get experience, and thanks to my sparring partners, the Andretti brothers and La Habra, well, they're tough, and they get me in good shape for the fights.
Well, I can tell Mac's doing a good job over there with you, too. No question about it. Let's take a look at some of the action there, Julio. Go ahead and describe for us what happened in terms of this fight with Smith.